So here we are again, another week without a new video. First of all, I apologize for that. It's been extremely busy at work and home. We'll get back to it soon. Originally, I was going to make this an update video. I've done these in the past, kind of where we're at, projects we're working on, that kind of thing. Although I will discuss that in this video, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to make this into what are your other hobbies kind of video. So I'll show you my hobbies. I'd like to hear what your hobbies are as well. But before we get to that, we will show you some things on the bench. Now this is the BP Petroleum truck. I believe it's Matchbox number 25. You'll notice there are a lot of videos of this particular casting, a lot of restorations. I believe Marty has one, Bare Metal, and just recently Time Rider posted his as well. He made his a little bit different, and that's what I plan to do with this one. Unfortunately, he beat me to it. This has been in this stage for about 2 weeks, just sitting right here. Ready for paint, I just haven't had time to do so. Although mine will be a little bit different, again, he beat me to it. Another one on the bench. I have a lot of gasser customs I want to do. I was going to do the candy striper. We've already got the decals right here, everything ready to go. We've got the creamy pink paint, everything set. We've had this here for about a month or more. I ordered these from the Redline shop, I believe it was back in November. But as luck would have it, I get on YouTube this morning and Bare Metal uploaded one last night. Again, I'm late to the party. And if you watch a lot of the die-cast restoration videos, you'll notice that's kind of how it works. A lot of us end up doing the same thing. It's not because we're copying off each other, nothing to do with that. It's just how it all works out. Now with the Matchbox, there's really not a lot of different castings available. If you start from where they began up until the late 60s, you're not going to find a huge variety. So I imagine eventually all of them will get customized or restored here on YouTube. Now as far as the gas or candy striper, it's a popular car. It was released in 2014, so I'm not surprised that was already done. So just to reiterate, if you see something that I've done that shows up on another channel, or something that somebody else has done and shows up on my channel, there's a really good chance that we're not copying one another. It's just how the ball rolls. And as far as how to customize, I think all of us are learning little tips and tricks from one another. I originally learned wheel swaps and drilling from Poochman. There's other things I've taken from Bare Metal, Marty, and so on. Now one common theme that I've noticed throughout most of the diecast channels are none of us claim to be professionals or perfectionists at any of this. Everyone is just learning along the way. And we all make mistakes. Obviously these are very tiny cars. It's easy to make mistakes. And most of us are in our 30s or above, which is kind of odd. We've all probably got the worst eyesight out of most of our viewers. I'm 43, and I had to start wearing these things a few years ago. And there's a few reasons why I got into this hobby. One was for my grandson. And the second reason, believe it or not, was for practice. I thought it would be a good idea to practice on these little die-cast cars in order to start building and painting my scale modeling. That's something I want to do when I retire, and I figure when I get to retire in another, 24 years, I should be good enough to paint those larger scale models. Believe it or not, this is the hobby that I spend the least amount of time on. Any extra time I have for hobbies or anything like that is done after I spend time with the family. Everything Hot Wheels related is typically done between 9 p.m. and 12 a.m. Eastern Time, after everybody goes to bed. First of all, this area is a complete mess. There is one new addition. We got a 3D printer. So hopefully we'll incorporate this into the Hot Wheels channel. We'll see. I didn't really get it solely for that, but I figured it was something that I could incorporate into it. But up here we've got essentially all of our reloading supplies for firearms. Now I don't show firearms on this channel because it is kid friendly, and I respect the fact that not everyone is pro-gun. But essentially everything that's up here is for reloading. You've got bullets, primers, powder, all that fun stuff. I've got my main reloading press right here, which is a Hornady progressive press, lock and load. Over here we've got a lot of our dies, By the TV, we've got some various tools, and then over here we have a single stage press. So I have several handguns and rifles. I'm not going to show them on here, but I will put a link to my other channel in the video description. That channel, I feature some of them. I feature some reloading. Essentially, that channel is dedicated to just about anything that I do. Could be car related, motorcycle related, reloading, product reviews, just about anything you can think of is just kind of over there. Now this next hobby does not take up a lot of time, but it's still a hobby. And these are what you call safety razors. These range anywhere from the early 1900s all the way to the early 1960s. To me, this hobby is kind of strange, yet I'm still into it. I don't know why I consider it strange. It's just a hobby's a hobby, I guess, but I got into it. Originally, I was searching for Hot Wheels at the antique stores, and then I picked up one, tried it, loved it, and ever since then, that's the only thing I'll shave with. I hate shaving, and these make the whole shaving experience a lot more enjoyable. These safety razors shave way better than anything on the market today. Whether you've got a Fusion or a Gillette 3, I have both. I still will pick these up every time. Now if I'm in a hurry, I'll probably pick up the Fusion. Most of these are made by Gillette. Most of them are the butterfly design here. But there's just a variety of different ones. This is probably my favorite right here. This one is from, I believe, 1910. It's not too bad. And we've got what they call the Fat Boy. Actually, we have two Fat Boys, which are adjustable. Then we have a Slim. Actually, the Slim's right here, which is also adjustable. Then we have just what they call a flare tip. This is a really old auto strop. I have not shaved with this one yet. This was actually given to me by one of my buddies at work. Really surprised to get this. I gotta find some blades for it. I'd like to try that. Now this is a straight razor that my wife purchased for me, I think about 3 years ago, my birthday. Very expensive, very nice piece. I have yet to master the straight razor. I've cut myself numerous times with this thing. We have one of the brushes that I actually turned on the lathe. We have this one, which is actually made out of elk antler. I made this myself. It's also on my other channel. I'll be sure to put a link to that video as well in the description. Another hobby, riding dirt bikes. This is a 2002 XR250, which I also posted videos on my other channel of a build on this as well. I actually have, I think, 3 or 4 different dirt bike builds on that channel, as well as a cafe racer that I started but never finished and ended up selling it. This bike's a lot of fun. I haven't got to ride it that much yet, just because it's winter here now. Now this is the last of the major hobbies, and my biggest hobby happens to be woodworking. Now I'm no pro, but I do build a lot of furniture for the family. This is a dresser for my daughter. It was supposed to be done by Christmas. As you can see, that did not happen. It's just made out of poplar. But even yet, out of poplar, this is still about a $700 build. You really don't get into woodworking to save money on furniture. You get into it to build what you want out of solid wood or whatever material you decide to use. Now this particular dresser is based off a design from Ashley Furniture. And that's only $500, but it's made out of basically particle board. This happens to be what I'm working on today. It's about 45 degrees here, so it's warm enough to get some things done. Also with the woodworking, I do a lot of turning. I turn a lot of pens, the razor you saw, bottle stoppers, that kind of thing. All mostly for family. And here's a little project I'm actually working on for myself, but it comes last. I gotta finish that dresser. This is made out of cherry and purple heart. It's a toolbox. We've got our dovetails. You can see the purple heart. And the actual top is made out of walnut, as well as the inside bottom. We still have to finish our drawers. Those are also made out of purple heart and cherry. So as I already mentioned, this is my biggest hobby. It takes up the most time. It's what I enjoy doing the most. Unfortunately, that leaves Hot Wheels at the bottom of the list. But my ultimate goal is to find time to release one new video per week, which I was doing up until the end of the year. But we'll be back on track within another week or two. Now let's go take a look at my actual Hot Wheel collection. Not all the Hot Wheels we have, because I think we've got roughly 5,000, but what's in my collection. It may surprise you. Essentially right here you're looking at my collection. 2 fairly small Plano boxes worth of cars. And most of these are either cars that I've customized or I've got from other YouTubers. Some are just cars I like, such as the Smoking the Bandit Trans Am. There's an A-Team van that I did early on in the channel. And some are just cars I like, such as this wagon. So when people want to see the collection, that's it. Everything else belongs to a 5-year-old. Now, having said that, if I need to pull a car out for customization because I get a bright idea, the 5-year-old may be missing a car here or there. Anyway, that about wraps it up for all of my major hobbies. Now, I did mention earlier that the Hot Wheels gets the least amount of attention. That does not mean I enjoy it the least. It's just the woodworking takes up so much time, and somebody always wants something. So now that you've gotten an idea of my hobbies, I'd like to hear about yours. Either post them in the comments below, or make a video response. It's always interesting to hear what other people are into. And please be patient, the videos will resume on a normal basis here soon. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to post those in the comment section below. I go through every single one of them. If you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Also hit the bell. That way you'll be notified of any new videos. I almost forgot to thank my top patrons, which are Corbin Toll, Mark Kidd, and Gary Burke. And thank you to everyone for watching and supporting the channel. I think this is the first video for 2019, so I'd like to wish everyone a happy new year. And as always, thanks for watching.